relate it to relationships, and I'm going to relate it to our relationship with God. 5 signs that you are committed. Number 1. Y'all ready? What is that? They jamming. Okay, number 1. You make time for whatever you're committed to. You make time for it. You make time for it. Because you know the saying, you make time for what's important to you. Now, in relationships, ladies, men too, if you trying to talk to somebody or if you like somebody and they're always busy, every time you try to reach them, they're just too busy, they're not interested, or like the book, they're just not into you. Because they will make time for you if they were really interested. Those are just excuses, and unfortunately some people, they just can't come out and say, I'm not interested. They say, yeah, they just won't call you, or they'll just come up with excuses and you'll call. They say, how come you ain't called me back? Oh girl, I was busy. Oh, they got me working these hours. I mean, you can call somebody when you get home, especially being single. You can find some time in the day. There's a break, you get home, there's a drive. I mean, there's something. So, you make time for what's important to you. And with that being said, and also, when you think about with the things of God, you make time for God. You make time in your prayer life. You make time, like I have a scripture here. Okay. Oh yeah, and also with dating, you make time to get to know each other. In my book, How to Date, Stay Safe, I talk about how dating is about collecting data. The word dating, you think of data. You have to make time to collect that data. You know, you have to make time to spend time with each other, get to know each other, so you can see and know and things like that. So you make time for it. You prioritize them, the person. Even in marriages, I don't know if you guys are married. I don't think so. I'm not sure. But even if you are, you have to make time with your spouse. So couple that with your relationship with God, which should be your most important relationship ever. You want to make time to pray to God and be in communication with God. And the scripture I have here is Mark chapter. Anybody got their Bibles? Who got their Bibles? I see y'all. See some Bibles. If you don't, that's okay. Just make sure you write them down. But I do have it. I'm going to go to some scriptures. I'm a word girl. Okay, so we're going to do Mark. Now, this is Jesus speaking. Now, this was right after Jesus fed the multitude. He fed the 5,000. And before he just sent them away, it says in Mark chapter 6, verse... I'll just start at 37. And this is when, because his disciples, Lord, bless those disciples, but they were just, he just preached to them, and then now the disciples, it's like 5,000 men, so you know it's like 5,000 women and babies. And so he just preached to them, and the disciples are like, well, now just send them away. You know, we preached to them, we're done. Just let them go so they can buy some food. But then Jesus had compassion on it, and he said that, you know, don't just send them away. He wanted to provide for them and feed them. And so, in verse 37 of Mark 6, it says, he answered and said unto them, give ye them to eat. And they say unto him, shall we go and buy 200 penny worth of bread and give them to eat? So in other words, like, you know how many people out there, Jesus, you want us to feed all those people? You got the money for all that. And then it says in verse 38, he saith unto them, how many loaves have ye? Go and see. And when they knew, they say, 5 and 2 fishes. And he commanded them to make all sit down by companies upon the green grass. And as the story goes, he, you know, blessed the bread, gave it up to God, and he was able, through the miracle, to feed the multitude. So after he did that miracle, in verse 46, I wanted to stress, it says, and when he had sent them away. Okay, let's go to verse 45. It says, and straightway he constrained his disciples to get into the ship and to go to the other side before unto Bethsaida, while he sent away the people. So he asked his disciples to go on the ship, wait for him, and then he sent the people away. And then it says in verse 46, and when he had sent them away, he departed into a mountain to pray. And then it says, and when even was come, the ship was in the midst of the sea, and he alone on the land. So basically, it's saying how even Jesus took the time to pray.